think we're good.
For the Anchor project this year, the question was how can we improve the Bay Area? Since parks are part of all of our daily lives, we chose to focus on that. Let's go around the corner.
Parks represent an area that everyone can use to be outdoors, to be active, and just to be in a little bit of nature in an urban area. San Francisco has 220 of these areas, which is the most of any urban area in the world. Most San Franciscans live in a 10-minute walk of a park, and I'm pretty sure if you go out on the streets, you're more likely to find a park than a Raiders fan. I'm not sure if that's it. I just wanted to say that. And personally, we have pretty close ties with parks. Eli and Charlie live in Presidio, and Harrison and I are frequent visitors to parks. So we felt like this is something that we can all go and focus on.
Yeah. So the problem with San Francisco parks is quality, not quantity. Most parks in San Francisco are pretty clean, and on the 2013 Parks Report Card, many of them got an A or B grade. These parks are usually the most popular parks in San Francisco, such as Mission Dolores and Golden Gate Park. But over 39% of parks in San Francisco got a C, D, or F grade. These parks are in poorer districts and have barely any visitors. Over the last 2 years, popular parks such as Mission Dolores increased from a D grade all the way to an A grade. Mission Dolores and 29% of all the parks in San Francisco increased, but 49% of the parks in San Francisco decreased over the last 2 years. Parks need help. On May 15th, we went off campus to research parks. We had 2 interviews and visited 5 of the 220 parks in San Francisco. We interviewed the park partners leader at the San Francisco Parks Alliance and the leader of operations at SF Parks. They showed us that a lot of the parks that are lower grades barely have any volunteers and barely have any visitors. The most popular parks in San Francisco have volunteers almost every weekend, while the lower grade parks have barely had any volunteers before. Even though San Francisco parks all have to have the same quality, many of them can't get the help. So to see the best parks in San Francisco on that day, we went to Golden Gate Park, DuBose Park, Alamo Square, Patricia's Green, and Dolores Park. And at these parks we served.
One of the questions we asked while surveying people was, would you ever volunteer to help clean up parks? What was interesting about our results is that out of the roughly 30 people we asked, every single person said that they would. The funny thing is that most of them had never volunteered before, so I don't know if they actually do it. The next question we asked was, if you could change something about the parks, what would it be? The most common answer was more trash cans or bathrooms. We think this shows that parks aren't clean enough for regulars. And if parks aren't clean enough for regulars, people will stop coming to the parks. And stop coming to the parks, that will loop back around to cleanliness and the population of parks.
Plan of action. Basically what we need to do is improve our parks. But to do that we need to be more responsible as a people. See, the city spends $1 million a year on just cleaning up after irresponsible people in the parks. Well, that can be used towards actually giving people what they want, more trash cans and more bathrooms, actually improving and renovating these parks. Taking a step back now, we'd like to focus on awareness. Number one thing being kids, because they have the rest of their lives to be responsible and they can spread the word. One thing we want to propose is to have a department of the Parks and Rec to go out and talk to kids at schools. The Parks and Rec is one of the only city departments that doesn't have a section of the department to actually go out and talk to people at schools. So we feel like that would be a very effective mission.
Yeah, so because the funding the San Francisco Parks and Rec get, a lot of their money is used for cleaning up after people, like Royce said, but that money could be used for getting more trash cans, better bathrooms, and renovating the parks anywhere that people want. And we all need to pitch in, we can all do it small.
So what can you do? The parks need more volunteers. About 148,000 hours were put into volunteering last year, which was not enough. Our idea is to make everyone in San Francisco do at least 1 hour of park volunteering a year. This would make the city have over 6 times the amount of volunteer hours as last year. And these hours would be spread among all the parks, no matter the grade or location. This would save the city a lot of money that they're spending on cleaning right now, and it could be used for other things. To make it even easier to volunteer, we would propose to have sanctioned park and rec events, one for each park every year. You could sign up online to pick which park you wanted to volunteer at, or just be assigned to a park at random. We think this would make people more enthusiastic and have more people volunteer because it's just one set date that they volunteer. Another thing you could do is to ask your district supervisor to fund the parks more. They have the power to decide how much money is given to the parks, and this is important because they get a lot of cash that they can use their way to spend on other things.
In conclusion, the change is really all on people. We have the power to try to get our supervisors to donate more money, or actually give more money to parks, and we have the opportunity to volunteer through the sanctioned events. Like Charlie was saying, our survey said that 100% of the people that we interviewed would actually volunteer to Cleanliness Park, and these sanctioned events would provide a big event to do so, while people may feel that it's really hard to do volunteering right now. Actually, when we were talking with the SF Parks Alliance, they were saying that many people don't even know where to volunteer, and this would provide, a straight to the spot, I'm a volunteer at Alamo Square on this day, and I think that would be really effective. Another thing is that with the school program, we feel like kids are the core of the park, and when you see a picture of a park on the internet, you usually see a kid playing on play structure or on a swing, and we feel like if we can get out the image of kids being responsible, others will follow suit because they want to be good examples for kids. And overall, we feel very passionate about the parks in San Francisco, and we hope that you all will be passionate too. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. At this point, if folks have questions, we have time for the group to answer any questions either about their research or about their proposal.
Do you feel like the safety of the parks in San Francisco is good right now?
For most parks, yes.
Yeah.
So Harrison was referring to this playground report card, which is every quarter the parks are evaluated over the course of the day by the controller office in San Francisco, and they rated most of the parks. So I think it was 86% were considered safe for kids to use, and I know the other parks groups talking a lot about safety, and those are more focused on really specific parks, which is why we want to focus on safety. We felt like something better that would affect all parks and all people would be.
It wasn't just about certain parks, it was rather districts, because a lot of these districts, they have really nice parks than other parks, and other districts, they have parks that aren't very safe. So I don't have to